Now at noon, we have new details in the deadly mass shooting at Greenwood Park Mall. As investigators piece together what happened, shoppers inside are now sharing what they saw. Hoosiers trying to make sense of the senseless. Good afternoon, I'm Dustin Grove. Greenwood Park Mall remains closed after that shooting last night in the food court area, just as the mall was closing. We expect to learn much more in a couple of hours about exactly what happened last night. Local, state, and federal law enforcement officials will be holding a news conference at 2 o'clock this afternoon to update their investigation. Our Rich Nye is live in Greenwood right now with more on what unfolded there just a matter of hours ago. Rich, what have you learned?
Well, Dustin, obviously the two biggest questions we're waiting to hear and perhaps learn today in that news conference is who was the suspected shooter and why did he shoot here last night at the Greenwood Park Mall. That shooting happened about 6 p.m. in the food court, which is on the southeast corner of this mall. You can see the Dick's Sporting Goods store behind me. Now, just to the right of that store, there's a sidewalk alley, and that leads to a mall entrance. And when you walk in that mall entrance after about 100 yards or less, you are essentially right in the food court, which is on your left as you walk in those doors. So essentially, the shooter could have walked in and began shooting in the food court area almost immediately upon entering the mall. Now, 13 News has since learned that overnight, police raided the apartment of the suspected shooter. This is the Polo Run Apartments. It is less than a mile from the mall on Fry Road. It was evacuated, one of those buildings, last night while police served a search warrant at the suspect's apartment. Police have not yet released the name of the suspect, and that suspect was shot and killed by a bystander who police say was lawfully armed. 4 people were killed, a female, 3 males. Again, that includes the suspect. 2 victims were sent to the hospital. One was a 12-year-old girl that had a minor injury to her back. She went home from the shooting and then told her parents what had happened and went on to the hospital. And then the other victim is in stable condition at last report. We expect to learn the names of the victims during that 2 p.m. news conference today. And again, an armed citizen, 22 years old, from Bartholomew County, a man, that's all we know at this point, is the person that allegedly shot and killed the suspect.
This isn't something that we have seen here in Greenwood before. It is absolutely horrendous, and our thoughts and prayers are with those loved ones hurting tonight.
The mall is closed today and will reopen tomorrow. Police say the shooter used a long rifle and had several magazines of ammunition. Again, at this point, we don't know the motive for the shooting. We don't know the name of the shooter, but we are expecting to hear some of those details at that 2 p.m. news conference to be held by the Greenwood Police Department. We'll certainly have all the updates for you at WTHR.com.
And so many questions. Hopefully we'll learn more at 2 o'clock today. Rich, thank you.
I seen somebody laying on the ground, and I just grabbed my kids and we ran.
The scene that unfolded in the food court last night, no doubt terrifying for all of those who happened to be there. We spoke to shoppers who saw the shooter, including Heather Arthur. She says she and her kids were at the food court and ran to a nearby store to take cover.
It was a bald, white, older male. We were locked in a closet, and we barricaded it with tables and waited for the police to come and announce themselves to let us out.
Again, a lot of questions still to be answered, including the identity of the shooter and the victims. We will learn more in just a couple hours when Greenwood Police, along with state and federal law enforcement officials, give us an update at 2 o'clock. And we're going to carry that live here on 13 News, and we'll be streaming it at WTHR.com. Again, the mall is closed today. It is expected to reopen tomorrow.